Okay, this video is going to be on equilibrium and what that means. So let's say that I am a graphic designer and I am producing some sort of graphic art and I'm going down to the Silicon Valley to a big conference and I have lots of my latest work with me, okay? And I'm trying to sell it for $70, all right? So I show up at the trade sale and I'm trying to sell at $70. So if we look at where this line that represents $70 intersects with the demand curve, it's right here, and where it intersects with the supply curve, it's right here. So if we follow those amounts down, we see that at $70, well, it looks like maybe around 150 want to buy my art, and it looks like maybe 850, let's say, want is how many that I brought. So I brought 850 units with me, and I'm only able to sell 150 units, okay? So that means that obviously that the quantity demanded was less than the quantity that I was willing to supply at this price, okay? So I priced my item too high. I had obviously a surplus that I had to take home with me. So it's the next day of the trade sale, and I want to get some of these sold, but I'm certainly not willing to bring in as many as I brought on the previous day, and I'm going to try and sell them for a little bit less. Let's say that I decide that I'm going to sell them, let's say around $30. Okay, so this is $30 right here, and we'll say that at $30, I brought in 250 units with me, okay? So 250 units is my quantity supplied. So if we look at where price intersects the supply curve, this is my quantity supplied. And if we look at where price intersects the demand curve, this is how many people were actually willing to purchase my good or service, which is my digital art, at $30. Okay, so if we look at $30 and compare that to $70, we see down here at $30, it's actually the quantity demanded, which is larger than the quantity supplied. So basically, I brought in 250, I sold those, and there were 500 people still waiting in line that wanted to buy some of my digital art at $30. Okay, so obviously, in the market, each person looking out for their best interest, the suppliers trying to get as much money as possible, and the demanders trying to pay as little money as possible, we are able to, over time, kind of come in through the invisible hand, and the demanders, if they want it, they have to be willing to pay a little bit more, and the supplier, if they want to sell it, they have to be willing to pay a little bit less. And there's one point that we are going to say the market clears, okay? And where the market clears, that is a point of equilibrium, and that's going to be this point right here, where the quantity supplied and the quantity demanded are exactly equal at, let's see, it looks like $50 and 500 units. Okay, so if we look at $50, if we were to look at where $50 intersects, I don't really want to mark this all up, but if we look at where $50 intersects, we see where $50 hits the supply curve, that's the quantity supplied, 500 units. And if we look at where $50 intersects with the demand curve, that's the demand at $50. So we'll say that there's one place where we have the price and quantity that clear the market. Okay, so that means that we're going to denote those with stars. And the star just simply means that at a particular price, the quantity demanded is exactly equal to the quantity supplied. Okay, and that's what we mean by equilibrium. If we price above that, the quantity demanded is going to be less than the quantity supplied. If we price below that, the quantity demanded is going to be greater than the quantity supplied. So we are at equilibrium only at one place on this curve, and that's where the price is equal to $50 and the quantity demanded and quantity supplied will then be 500 units.